chronic pain for about a 7-year period, and I couldn't find a reason specifically for that pain, and I saw all the different experts, and I just couldn't figure it out.
And watch the gutter.
That hurt. Oh. I had my brain tumor when I was 12 years old, while I was living in Germany. You gotta imagine, you are a normal child growing up, playing different sports, and one day, in a blink of an eye, it's all gone.
I had the best physiotherapists and the best nurses, but it was almost like the system gave up on me. They couldn't work out what to do with me next.
The whole medical side has told me I'll never walk again. And I asked for 3 months of every day, what is there and can I do something? Well, they told me like there was nothing. Once I left their rehabilitation centre, there was really no hope. My point now is proving that there's nothing that is impossible.
The last nearly 9 years I've been suffering from chronic vertigo. Doctors in Ireland don't know why, and they can't do anything more for me, and so I came here.
The most amazing thing about neurophysics, where you're blown away by it, is the moment where you learn to let go and let your body do it. And usually the initial point in that is when you tremor.
It's not like a magic, you take a pill and suddenly you start jumping up and down. It's a mental work.
Who's to say that normal medical ways are the right way? Because nobody's helped me. I've done everything.
Most people expect somebody else to fix them. That's the expectation. Are they to blame for that? Not at all. We're telling them, no, you have every single thing you need inside of you to fix yourself. We're just going to show you how to go about it. Going to boarding school back when I was 11 years of age, I was pretty much what you'd call a nerd. I really had no ability to defend myself. And of course, that made me a target for bullies. So I found myself out in the bush on the weekends, just hiding out and very much being nested within nature to try to protect myself from all of that. Sitting out there, I started to become very observant of how things were moving around me, like the insects and the wildlife and trees. I took notice of the tidal flow that was in the creek that went through the school, and I sort of worked out that it flows like a pendulum. So I just started to see that, there's this fluency in nature. Everything was integrated, and, it's not just me sitting here and everything else is separate to me. I'm very much part of this system. When I'm talking about flow and communication within a person's system, I liken that to flocks of birds flying in unison. There's no central governor in there. There's no one bird that tells all those birds what to do. All they are doing is communicating just with their nearest neighbours. But collectively, as this big system, they all are very self-organised and they respond to their environment in this very coordinated fashion. The connection is that if it happens in nature, well, then why wouldn't it be able to happen within the human system? Which involves neurons, basically. At the end of the day, neurons have got to be talking to one another.
I actually brushed shoulders with a terrorist. We were 10 metres away when he detonated the bomb, and 2 feet outside the blast zone where everybody died. So we were, we shouldn't be here, really.
If the predator does come into the flock will split apart, and then it'll come back together, it'll rejoin again. It's very pervious to perturbation. So that's what we basically need for ourselves.
Got on me bull, and Bad Bugger his name was. I was in that good frame of mind, get in, get out, get the job done, set yourself up for the championship round, win another one on New Year's Eve.
I was kind of dead in line with him, and I was videoing like I do every video.
All right, we're watching.
And it just whipped me to the ground, and I think the bull lost its footing a little bit, like slipped just a little bit, and it was just like a brush. And it was just, from that brush, it was just done. In my head, that was me. I should have smashed that bull. I should have rode the bull and and stepped off on my feet and walked away.
The body is exceedingly smart. It's incredibly complex. And when we think about, okay, the nervous system, starting with the brain and all the nerves that go throughout the body, it is a continuous information loop. Messages get delivered where they're needed and responses are sent back. It is the most incredible information highway at all teeny tiny and major scales. Getting the right food to eat, food is information. Getting the right amount of sleep. Everything is about getting and using information.
You don't govern consciously everything your body does. You don't say, okay, hey, immune system, send white blood cells over there to fix that ailment. Your system does it because it knows it needs to do it.
I suffered 22 shrapnel wounds from head to foot. 2 more severe were the one that hit me in the back, totally severing my spinal cord at T10. One hit me in the side of the neck, severed 2 of my main arteries. Literally, I had no blood left in my body, almost to the point where I was like swimming in it.
If you cut your hand, for example, it self-organises, it heals. We don't think about having to put energy into investing energy into thinking about that healing, it just does it. So that can happen at every scale of the system, given the right sets of conditions. My mother had died when I was 16 years of age, and it was suicide, unfortunately. I felt very damaged about that and very much in denial of that for a very long period of time. This led me to start lifting weights, and I pushed myself for years with brute force. You know, bigger, stronger, faster, heavier kind of way. It was probably even a means of self-harm. As a result of that, I caused myself some major damage. My knees were shot and I had very severe lower back problems. Eventually, some old guys in the gym noticed how I was doing things and they suggested I tried lifting weights lighter and with better technique. When I did this, I noticed a significant tremor appear in my body. My idea was I'd calm down more and have another go. When I calmed down more, it got worse. So it started to become really wild. All of this stuff started to come back up again and it became more and more violent. There was lots of anxiety and there was lots of processing going on and history being replayed in my head, becoming quite emotional at the same time. And by letting it go, the principle of self-organisation came into play, which allowed my nervous system to get rid of its noise. I started to see that I could fix my own injuries very rapidly. So within 2 years, I was actually competing in world championships, and I ended up winning a Mr. Universe then in 1994.
My husband noticed that something is wrong with me. He says, you are not talking properly. Something is wrong with your left side. I knew right away that it was wrong.
The genius of Ken's approach is that he figured out the ways to get the body generating information for itself to fix itself. It's got all the capacity it needs.
He was the first wheelchair athlete to complete the Hawaiian Ironman, the first to swim the English Channel.
I was watching a program on 60 Minutes, a story about a person that regained their ability to walk after 25 years. And his name was John McClane.
That noise, get out of there.
Sports coach and therapist Ken Ware set about building John's strength and coordination to make the most of any connections in John's spinal cord.
He made amazing improvements at this place. And I thought to myself, well, if it could help him, why can't it help me?
There was enough noise from different critics that was sort of, trying to belittle what I was doing. Here, explain this. How is John McClane walking after 25 years being in a chair and he's walking in 3 days?
If something doesn't come from the clinical trial, medical fraternity that is then considered innovation because of it, it's come from that orthodox place, it's very hard for it to get looked at today.
We started to lose power. I then had to make a forced landing and we've ended up crash landing, and from that accident I'm now a T11 Asia A complete paraplegic.
My condition of dwarfism is called achondroplasia, and that causes spinal stenosis, and that's a narrowing of the spinal cord, particularly in the curvature of our spines. I would fall on an everyday basis. I wouldn't hurt myself. I'm lucky I don't have too far to fall to reach the ground.
I'm always like an adventurous person. I like to do crazy things, but not that crazy. I saw these people doing kite surfing. Wow, I got to try that. This instructor was going to hand the kite over to me. There was a sudden gust of wind, sort of lifted me up, airborne for a couple of meters, and landed headfirst into the shallow sand.
When I woke from spinal surgery, I couldn't feel nor move a toe. I was told that the passage from here to my legs had been broken.
The sooner I realise I'm going to be stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, the better off I'll be.
All I got told was, no, mate, you've got a complete injury. You got to understand it's a complete injury. You will never do this again.
Forearm crutches were going to be my aids for life, and I had accepted that. Walking up steps and walking up hills were out of the question.
You're not going to kick a ball, you're not going to take your dog for a walk, and you think, life's over, everything you know is gone.
This is what the prognosis is. This is the trajectory you're on. This is what's likely to happen further down the track for you. This is what life's going to be like for you.
I got my MRI scan, and Ken so politely grabbed it off me and just put it to the side and said, I'm not treating what this MRI says about you. I'm treating you.
I'm not going to be biased or be worried about what an MRI says. I can't change that fact, but what I can change is how her system is behaving and functioning. Well, I shouldn't say I can. I'm teaching them to make those changes themselves.
I came to neurophysics in a wheelchair, not being able to do very much at all. And my speech was gone, or my nervous system wasn't functioning the way it was meant to be. That was a challenge to lift up a cup of coffee, to lift up anything, in fact, because I had ataxia, which is your shaking of your nerves. I was angry all the time, sad all the time.
I just always thought like it's something structural is causing the pain. It would kind of alter my personality, and it's affecting my decision making in the water, and then I make a poor decision, leads to a horrific injury. Luckily I hit my leg, but it's destroyed my leg now. It's permanent nerve damage, permanent structural damage that now I've got to deal with.
Unfortunately for me, the accident plays in my head quite a lot. The hardest thing I find is getting that pity from people.
When are you going to get better? When are you going to walk again? Don't you miss being able to run? Oh, I'm sure you wish you could play basketball again. Of course.
The first thing we need to do is calm everything down so that when a person has a thought about something, there's a very neat line of communication, a noise-free line of communication. I can either shout myself an instruction or I can think about that softly, because the softer the thought is, the more energy is going to be devoted to what you're doing. So we've got to bring down the tone of the thought.
They help you slow everything down enough that your body has time and your body sees the problem. And with millions of years of evolution, our body knows how to fix it. Our body knows how it's supposed to work.
Your own immune system is what's going to heal you. It's you got to get all the other stuff out of the way to allow that to happen.
Typically what you see when people have disorders in their system, they start to see discrepancies appear between one hemisphere and the other. Super relaxed. That's pretty good, Jasper. A little bit of left hemisphere dominance, but not too much. So push on your fingers to give you that reference. So you think about that point in space-time, like as if you're calibrating yourself physically and emotionally around that point. Once we lateralise those hemispheres and get them to cross-talk to one another, then things start to work beautifully from there on in. I opened a gym in 1989 and worked closely with so many patients and athletes. My goal was to develop a therapy that could work for 100% of the people, 100% of the time. Nikki started working in my gym and she was actually the first person I encouraged to experience tremor. Nikki was the very first person to appreciate what I was trying to do. And before I knew it, we fell in love and we got married, and Nikki also became a therapist and a great bodybuilding champion as well.
The thing that keeps me from not being too depressed is, well, actually, it's hope.
We're usually the last stop where they have tried everything known to mankind, from, stem cells through to electric stimulation and sonar. So there is a lot of pressure on us to deliver a result, which is, no pressure.
My goal is full recovery. Nothing less is good enough.
I was an active person. I don't want to go back to wheelchair. I want to walk.
The thing that's different from everything else is just thinking of it as a whole system. I have my brain and my body, my mind, my spirit. It's all just the one thing. Like, I can't isolate it just to be a physical experience or just an emotional experience. All of those things are very interconnected.
I was a basketballer and a track runner. Representing Australia was unreal. Like, it's a dream come true. I actually ended up captaining the Australian team and carrying the flag at the opening ceremony. Still makes me get goosebumps when I think about it.
Einstein was one of the people who said thought creates biology. So what's happening at a level of abstract thought very much has biological consequences. So if you think about putting a piece of lemon in your mouth, for example, just thinking about it, biting on that lemon and rolling that juice around your mouth, you're likely to start producing some saliva based around past experiences with eating lemon. So now we've had something purely abstract, and all of a sudden matter appears above the line as a result of that thought. So yes, thoughts have consequences, and we need to really get in and exploit that.
My main goal is to be able to stand at our wedding and walk her back down the aisle at the end. That's the top of the mountain,
People can't get their head around. They say, what is it? What machine? And it's like, it's just normal gym equipment. And they're like, what?
The exercise machines are tools. It's a way of actually first looking at what's going on in the system. When they start to do some movements, you start to see all these anxieties appear. You can see it in their trapeze, which is their fight or flight pathway. We know if we get anxious, we'll tense up in the stomach, and we know that within the groin, if something comes into that space, it'll tense up very quickly. So if you're going to pick up things that are going on in the system, you're going to pick it up from those highly sensitive areas. What we see emerge within a person beneath the neck is just mirroring what's going on up in the brain, of course. Just very slowly coming out towards me. It's not an arm thing, it's a whole body thing, just picturing that flow. I was almost got a little bit of defensiveness over this side. So just drop your right elbow down just a little bit. All of their pathologies and their disorders are very much embedded in those initial behaviours they demonstrated. All those behaviours need to be detrained. We regard the machines as working through the grids. So we've got this very stable backdrop that provides a grid that we can watch the behaviour and take reliable, objective measurements within that. The system is just taking in bits of information from the environment. It then converts that information into something useful. It allows them to get feedback. When I'm applying stress to myself, how does my body behave? We can see when these different anxieties arise and emerge within their system, coming up from those associative regions of their brain, the stress on their system from the grid, that just animates what's really going on under the hood. All of a sudden, some stress reaches a certain threshold, and then it's about making the modifications and cognitively learning how to control those arousals. Calm things down. Let's just go, oops, there it goes again, stop it. You're working through it slowly until they can control all that behaviour.
Ken explains that you can get all these problems with the different patterns that are built into your brain. And those patterns can create a feedback loop that reinforces that pain. So you then need to go in and kind of reverse engineer that pattern or build a new pattern on top of it.
Very gently, you're going to take it back, thinking even, straight down the middle. with millimetre at a time, so every millimetre matters. So we come out, that's much better. That was a straightaway good impulse from your left hand. Turn your head to the right, So we're going to stop that bias, looking over to the left.
What is soft? How softly can we come through? See, that was amazing.
Once you've got your connection, then the point is to reinforce that connection and the pathway that works, not the one that didn't work, but the one that does work.
So you're modulating. Up in the brain, it's being modulated. You're altering what the experience is. Neurons in their brain are firing differently to how they did before. And the more that's repeated, that stimulus, the stronger those commitments are.
You're balancing your system, one side of your brain to the other side. And so you're doing it slow with very small weights. Well, that is very difficult. So you concentrate your mind, it relaxes your mind, and it puts you into this calm state.
See, if you're doing them like real fast and hard,
yeah,
like you don't feel real connected. But then if you go slow and do it slowly and controlled, like how much more connected do you feel? Like you can feel everything, line, like the whole way from your whole way down to your toes.
Yeah, I can concentrate and focus a lot more on the feeling. And as you say, right through to your toes, you can feel it all start to perk up and burn.
You know, if I can get my nervous system sorted out with this therapy, then I'll be laughing. And because really the nervous system is everything, isn't it? And once that's healthy, everything else follows.
First day, he was doing something that all the doctors said that he wouldn't be able to do.
My whole world was balancing. It all got taken away and then he'd automatically just given it back to me within about 15 minutes. From there, you know, like every little thing, every session, there's something totally new, whether it be a new muscle that just turns up. Then you think, oh, geez, I remember this, you know, like.
You might go in to start making a correction, but then automatically they know, oh no, I'm crooked. So then they start to self-correct. And that's a beautiful, beautiful turning point. So we love when we see that happen. That means yes.
I used to fill up my protein shaker with protein powder. I just spilled the whole thing everywhere and all that. This is the hardest part, getting the scoop around. Woo! Woohoo! There you go. This is perfection. But after 3 days, it actually went in perfectly, and I said, man, how did that work? That was my holy shit moment. Must have been neurophysics. Once you reach the milestones that you are going really well and you notice the changes within yourself, you just want to keep going and see what you can discover.
Let's just put more weight on. Let's just put more information into the system, see what happens then.
To see all the contractions in your legs and your feet twitching and, you know, your body's alive for the first time. For me at that time, it was, you know, the first time in 12 months where I felt alive, and you've got somebody that's telling you that, you know, you're going to stand up. You know, the way that I am, you know, it's music to my ears because that's what I'm thinking.
Regardless of the stress coming into the system or the stress leaving their system, they maintain the same emotional state the whole time. So when they're doing it, they're seamless transitions, so they can maintain that flow of information through. Then we start to see things that look more like flocks of birds flying in unison. That's the brain there you're talking. There's no discrimination between left and right. You just got to get the feeling of feeling even with things.
Right, find your rhythm. Boom, that's it. See, that just stabilized.
Every system in nature is complex and adaptive, and all that means is that it's constantly taking feedback from other systems around it, and they feed back and they feed forward to each other. And that is what gives rise to all our emergent behaviours in life.
They get up out of this machine and they seamlessly move over to the next machine and they engage in that. So all that basically this means is that they're going around and they're having a conversation with different agents within this environment. Each particular machine activates a different pathway and elicits a different emotional response. So we come into a different pathway and we get onto another machine and we do the same thing over and over. Now we've completely altered the initial state of that system. We're stable here, now we're stable over there, we're stable here, so we call that multi-stability. The system's stable at several points. So in their real world, then if they take some type of emotional hit or whatever, it doesn't take the system too long to find a stable reference point to stabilise itself around.
I had screaming pain down my legs because I was, running marathons with 50-kilo packs. I started having, issues with my knees and hips and all this other stuff. I found neurophysics full-time and blended that into my training regime.
I was actually in training for regional CrossFit. So I was crushing myself. I was training like I had never trained before.
Like 6 hours a day.
And he was doing his slow, steady, compose, empty weights.
Going from, lifting heavy weights at the top of your game to going back to 5 kilogram or 4 kilogram dumbbells, moving them really slowly. But when I started doing it, the pain started to subside.
We all know that athletes will visualise performance. Now, there's a reason they do that. If I'm going to play a tournament of tennis, you start to create a mental picture to help you make some predictions about what you're going to do under certain circumstances. Why? Why would you do that if it didn't have any real value to it? Because it creates a landscape, something to structure that you go out there with some preparedness with it. Then everything else that happens is just an unfolding of those events. Think about your shoulders groaning. That's it, that's good, that's it. That's good. Feel what's going on in your body. That awareness of information coming from your body is very important. Awareness has that organising power.
It's all your mind trying to re-establish those connections and those pathways. We just sound crazy.
Yeah, we just sound like weirdos.
Because you're not getting hooked up to anything electrically, or the machines aren't moving. And everything we do in here is ourselves of our own accord.
How soft are you? That's it.
Same hospital, same room, side by side.
Yeah, we were weeks apart in our injury, and I still use watching you do your thing as motivation. You'll notice something and you'll mention, oh, check it out, look what I can do. And then give it 3-4 weeks to a month, and then I start noticing
the same
sort of thing.
That's pretty cool.
People come to neurophysics therapy to fix themselves. They're the ones doing all the work. We're just there telling them and guiding them through the process so they have complete ownership over everything.
In other therapies, the physios, the chiros, they do it to you, whereas we are in there doing it for ourselves and they guide us through. So it's almost a more empowering process.
The big thing about success in neurophysics is being able to really confront it and let it bubble up and not walk away from things because they say if you're walking away from things in neurophysics, that's how you're actually acting in the real world as well. You're walking away from things and not dealing with things properly.
You going okay?
Yeah.
Yep, so just keep coming out towards me. Let your tremor start to evolve just a little bit. Thinking about that flow down through your legs.
You'll get to that point where you're almost shaking. It's almost kind of riding that and allowing the tremor to come on. It's almost like a wave, and it just literally comes over you.
It's sort of like a subconscious state in a way. You can still take an instruction on.
That's the way. Just right through to your feet. So you've got to relax that right arm. Just being present with us.
nice. Very good, that's great.
Just give him watch his feet. Right foot.
It's the body being put in a position it doesn't like, and it's kind of lashing out. It's trying to find a normal state again.
Whether shaking violently or going into weird patterns of stretching, that for me was such an astonishing thing. Oh, am I consciously directing this? Am I making myself shake? But then you realise eventually that you're not. It's like your body's doing it and that part of your brain is stepped back watching it move in the way it wants to move. When you try and explain that to someone, they think you're batshit crazy until they've experienced it.
That's when I noticed the muscles in my legs all started to twitch. I went, wow, this is impressive, because muscles can't move without a signal. And the only way to get a signal is obviously from the brain. So for that to happen, that was like, this is going to get me back on my feet.
Rather than use words like recalibrate, we're simply calibrating the system within its environment. So you can't rewire the brain, you can only take the brain from one existing state and enhance its qualities and functions, like an upgrade. Sam said to me, oh yeah, but there's a motor in here, isn't there? And, oh no, there's no motor, you're doing that, you're the one doing it.
After doing a session, you feel like you've won a bull ride, you feel like you've achieved something so great. You're untouchable, really.
3, 2, 1, go.
Beautiful. Ken goes, here's all your tools. This is how you're gonna allow your body to heal itself, but it's on you. And that's very rare. I think that's one of the obstacles people tend to have with it.
There are hurdles in every field of work when something new comes along that challenges the assumptions of the status quo.
When you're putting yourself out there and trying to do something that's new, you sit on that line of all of this skepticism, but then all of this positivity, like results in quadriplegics that are mind-blowing, results with athletes that you can't believe, but then you're going to have the haters, the scientists or doctors that want to go, no, this affects exactly like this. That type of wellness seems like a waste of time in comparison.
Just thinking about how your legs move, keep sending that signal through.
I've discovered a therapy which is like a tremor-based therapy. My pledge is that this time next year, I will walk again.
I'd love to see it. Please welcome Hayden from Phillip Island. Therapist Tom is here.
Nobody can deny the result. We've got phenomena that's actually occurred over here, and that phenomena has to be described.
This therapy grew out of discovering how the system works. The system was the 24/7 laboratory that gave rise to this approach Ken came up with. And I think that is really, really important. And then figuring out what does science help us understand about why it works the way it does.
An F-18 fighter jet, they're designed to be chaotic, so they can respond very quickly to the environment, as opposed to trying to turn around a big ocean liner. So the only way that the brain can respond to our environment in a very spontaneous way is to maintain its chaotic state. The book Chaos by James Gleick, which is a very famous book, it was my aha moment back in the 90s. I started to see terms in there like self-organisation and complexity and the likes. The wind at the beach, for example, and it might on a really windy day and it all seems very random and chaotic. But then when you see the patterns that it leaves in the sand, that's not random, there's actually hidden order inside that chaos. So I got pretty excited because then I could start to see that there was a scientific way of describing the phenomena that I was observing. We look at disease and disorder as a loss of the system's complexity. You can set two metronomes off side by side at different timescales, but eventually they'll synchronise with one another. So that is a less complex system. Now it's synchronised. We don't want to see that in biology. So what we're doing with the therapy is putting a stimulus into the system that the system has the opportunity to use that information to self-organise up to higher states of complexity again. That actually is what produces the results.
It's kind of like I've forgotten that I used to have pain. For the first time in nearly 6 years, I could feel the shower on my foot.
I used to suffer from a lot of headaches. Since I've come here, I haven't had a headache.
The more trusting in your own mind that you have, the further you're going to go. In terms of what neurophysics therapy can treat, I don't think there are boundaries, you know, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with a system. Forget about the labels that we put on stuff for a sec. They all come from a place of a system that's broken. And when you rebalance that system, those symptoms start to change.
We never have to carve it up into it's neurology, it's cardiology, it's physiotherapy or kinesiology. Doesn't matter. It is one coherent, living, brilliant system. And that's the paradigm difference here. The same methods work to improve general health and well-being, all the way to someone who's a high-performance sports person.
I was suffering from a shoulder condition, just I guess over years of wear and tear of competing since I was 10 years old. I'd tried going to physios, I tried everything. I was just having no luck. The first benefit I felt was the level of relaxation. Like so much chaos had been released from my body.
The Atlantic Ocean crossing, well, we had to maintain 2 hours of rowing, 2 hours of rest, 24 hours per day, 6,400 kilometres from mainland Europe to mainland South America. And I wasn't a rower. I hadn't rowed like this before. After 10, 20 minutes of rowing, my hands would go solid numb and then the pain would just start throbbing through them. The suffering was next level. If I didn't have that tool in my toolbox, then I might not have been able to finish that row. And on the 55th day...
I want to show you land, baby. That is land, and that is Brazil right there.
I'd only ever known and met big, strong, 95-kilo Luke, the big man in the room, and he came back and he was this skeleton.
She was in peak physical condition, and here I am looking like Gollum with a big beard.
And he asked me to marry him, like, as he came back, and I was like, you are so disheveled right now, but I love you so much. But yeah, so I'd never witnessed him like that. But once I saw the good that the therapy was doing in him for recovery purposes, it got me more interested.
Let your body just experience that nice quietness there.
I think it was the second day. He's like almost sneakily coached me into like standing up, talking me into it, not really forcing, talking me into it, stand up vertically, relaxed.
Now see, you're capable of doing this all the time.
Effortless standing, I've never experienced.
That's good. So everyone just said,
tingling everywhere.
That's right, because you're relaxing your system.
Day 3 said jump. I just laughed at him. I can't jump.
Meredith, just jump up. Just have a go. That's it.
It wasn't a perfect jump, but it stimulated my system to remember what jumping was. Somehow, this again was controlling my legs and telling my legs what to do.
The biggest turning point for Sam, it might have been a month into the training. Ken said, why don't we just stand up? What do you mean? What is he going on about? What does he mean, stand up?
We have to take risks, or otherwise we just can't get anywhere. There's got to be that risk component.
Sam just let go and he was in front of a mirror, looking at himself standing. It was relief, it was hope, it was joy, it was sadness as well. Everyone takes for granted just holding hands with their partner. To see Sam do that, I was like, yeah, we've got this in the bag.
Working with spinal cord injury was something that I'd never ever planned for. I never even imagined that I'd ever be doing that. It was only when John McLean came to me for some pain therapy, then when I started to see the dynamics appear in his legs, that led to me saying, well, you should be walking, John. So then that just asked the question, how many other people are out there sitting in chairs who have the potential to walk again?
For the first time in 13 months, I stood up.
Well done.
Straight up.
That's it.
I'm able to then let go and I can do a whole range of upper body activities and my legs and everything just maintain that upright position. I don't just buckle. And knowing that it is me doing it, that just makes it even better. Like there's nothing to stop me falling over, there's nothing, it is me. I just feel able again.
To see the results that people get and to sort of feel the emotion that they feel, I have to often try to cover my own emotional response to that. Their family, who are often very close by, to see things changing before their eyes, you just can't put a value on that.
It's emotional for her to see it, because she's seen me, you know, pretty much on death's door. Look at how strong you are, look in the mirror, look around. I'm used to seeing things from being sat down. I've not seen that side from that level for, you know, I forgot how tall I was. I mean, I'm 6 foot.
Quite big, aren't I?
You go back in life, your brain's kind of going back, hey, I remember this. So I was getting flashbacks.
Before I had my brain tumor, I was a soccer player. And I was actually considering going professional with that, because I was really good. And I think I had a bright future in the sport.
It's not a magic wand. There's no magic pill. We can't just sprinkle fairy dust on you and all your ails will disappear. It's hard work, means taking responsibility, and it's very emotionally draining. But at the end of the day, we know what we have is every single thing a person will need to ever recover their health if they want it bad enough.
I'm standing up here now to have a shave. In a wheelchair, it's too hard because I can't get close enough to the mirror to really see. Having to sit sideways so that I could reach all the sink and everything like that was rather difficult, trying to look in the mirror and shave side on and then shave this side. So I thought I'll put my calipers on and see if I can have a shave standing up. Quite scary first time, obviously. Tiled floor, thinking, oh, I'm going to fall over and end up cutting myself.
Alex had started with his walker. His grandma had one and he brought it up to training one day and we got to talking and it wasn't long and I had myself one. And that's just what's clicked the next gear of walking, you know, like being an adult and being able to walk, learn to walk again. That's the best way to explain it is you wait one leg up and then come back onto your heels and push the other one through. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Weight it up, go forward. Weight it up, go forward. Ah, there's no better feeling in the world. That feeling of rhythm, the rhythm to just walk on. Like, it's that we've gone to that next dot in the picture.
To be able to stand here, see myself standing up, feeling strong, feeling confident. I know my body's going to support me and keep me up. Obviously, I would have taken this for granted when I was able-bodied, but now to be able to have the confidence and ability to come in and be able to do this again, it's a massive achievement. This is never would I have dreamed I'd come in here and be able to have a shave standing up. Beautiful.
Nice and relaxed. And one nice clean movement, yeah? Chin up, chest up, just one movement. Forward and up. Perfect. See? Right, how easy is that? Swing the arm, lift this other arm. Let this relax it, okay? Let's go. Boom. Perfect.
Bang, bang.
Yes. Yeah. Bang, bang. Stop. See?
If I made 10 steps on my own,
Perfect.
why not? I can make 20 steps. I can make more.
I walk really relaxed for a couple of steps. I was never able to do that. I said, wow, that's really really good feeling. That gives me tremendous confidence because I realized that I could do it. It's not something that I can't do. I could.
It's about taking the state that you're building and strengthening while you're doing neurophysics training, so a psychophysiological state. You build and strengthen that in the gym under the stress of the weight so that you can then use that state in different environments in your life.
Now we got some stairs.
Are you joking? Some stairs?
Yes.
Is there a railing?
Yes.
You've got to be joking me.
All right, so first step, I'm down here. Yep, that's it. All right, take your time, nice and steady. Yep. Good. We're on the beach.
I stepped on a dog bone or something.
It's a rock.
What would a dog bone be doing here anyway?
Well,
Nikki, she is just reassuring all the time, and she's just always saying how I'm going really good.
Oh, look at this hero.
Steve, you're in the way.
Get away. Go on.
Come here, Daddy.
The next task is now to go back to the doctors and say, am I still a complete paraplegic or am I now an incomplete paraplegic? And if you want to call it and say that I'm now an incomplete, well, there has to be only one. I've only done neurophysics since getting out of hospital, so.
Apart from the very obvious benefits of a person who's been sitting in a wheelchair getting up and walking, obviously that's great. Yes, people are moving forward from their diseases, but I think for me the therapy gives you a way of practicing life. We do life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we're doing life, but we never have a way of practicing how we deal with what comes from life.
A river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence.
In the end, I ended up swimming 12 kilometres in one day, and I hadn't swum for probably more than 1 kilometre in the past year.
I'm now back on my cycling club and recently completed the Prudential 100-mile ride.
Yeah! It was one more small step in the giant leap for mankind.
It's like a new version of me, a better version of me. You become a different person without pain, and that's made me that much more enjoyable to be around, especially for my wife. And that's life-changing.
This next job really is for me to follow that, to really sink in that philosophy and translate into daily practice.
Looks like Everest.
Okay, let's go.
Maybe that'll be the next job.
Well, that would be awesome.
I was able to climb the driveway without my crutches. Like, never in my mind would I ever thought that was going to be possible.
We've never both stood here with each other. So.
This is where we're going to get married.
Can't see where I'm going.
They're not that big.
This will be special, eh?
Don't start crying.
I'm already gonna.
She can walk the whole way down to me first, and then I'll walk her back out, which is only fair.
I know the pain that he goes through and the effort that he goes through, and I know it's all just for our future.
To be able to stand up there and look into her eyes and hear all of the words that she had to say. That was a pretty cool moment for me, you know, like, really gives me a fair bit of drive to get out there and pump it a bit harder, you know, go a bit harder with it all, you know. But I reckon if I go back and spend another 12 months with Ken, I'll be able to walk between me and him where I reckon we can do it. That's where Ken and Nikki are sitting right there.
Front row, they are family. They got family seats.
It never ceases to amaze me how adaptable and responsive the human nervous system is. All of these amazing people are proof that given the right sets of conditions, anything is possible.
Wash me in the water, cleanse me in the mercy of your love. I need a heavenly touch, 'cause I'll be backsliding. I need a little guiding for my soul. Only heaven knows, 'cause I just need a helping hand. It's gonna help me stand. It's gonna help me stand. 'Cause I just need a helping hand. It's gonna help me stand. It's gonna help me stand. Yeah. Wash me in the water, cleanse me in the mercy of your love.
I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'll be backsliding. I need